Why do we romanticize the past? Why do so many people feel that life used to be simpler, more beautiful, more meaningful, even though history tells us that every era had its own struggles? This universal longing is not just a sentimental habit. It is a profound psychological mechanism rooted in the way human memory works, in how identity is formed, and in how we cope with uncertainty and change. When we look back on earlier periods of our lives, the memories that rise to the surface are almost never complete or neutral. Modern psychology shows that memory is not a recording device. It does not store the past as it truly happened. Instead, every time we remember something, we reconstruct it from fragments, shapes, emotions, impressions, and symbolic elements that we associate with a particular moment. Our memory is shaped by who we are today, not only by who we were then. That means the past we long for is ultimately a reflection of our present needs, fears, and desires. When life becomes overwhelming or when the future feels uncertain, the mind instinctively looks backward, searching for moments that felt stable, warm, or emotionally coherent. It selects scenes that evoke comfort or pride and quietly removes the chaos, the insecurity, and the confusion that were also part of that time. As a result, the past becomes a curated gallery of our emotionally charged moments. Naturally, this gallery looks more beautiful than the complexity of everyday life, which demands constant decisions, effort, and responsibility. The past, unlike the present, requires nothing from us. It is already complete. It holds no surprises, no uncertain outcomes. And that makes it feel safe. We often romanticize childhood, for example, not because childhood lacked problems, but because it was a period in which others carried most of our responsibilities. Our memories filter out the powerlessness, the fear, the frustration. What remains is the emotional essence, the feeling of being protected, the slowness of time, the softness of early experiences. As adults, we unconsciously project that sense of safety onto the entire era, imagining that the world itself was gentler. But what changed was not history, it was the weight of responsibility we now carry. Nostalgia also serves as a powerful psychological tool for protecting the self. When a person goes through major transitions, moving to a new city, aging, starting a career, losing relationships, witnessing rapid cultural changes, their sense of identity can feel uncertain. Nostalgia restores continuity. It tells us, you have a story. You're connected to something. Your life makes sense. It bridges the gap between who we were and who we are becoming, giving us the feeling that we are still the same person, still anchored, still whole. In this way, nostalgia is not a weakness, but a stabilizing force that helps us adapt to the constant movement of life. Another reason we romanticize the past is the rapid acceleration of modern society. For most of human history, change happened slowly. Traditions stayed intact for centuries. People lived in the same towns as their grandparents. Architecture, art, and culture evolved gradually. Today, however, everything shifts at high speed: technology, communication, social norms, aesthetics, even language. This velocity creates a sense of fragmentation and overload. Our minds are not designed for such constant stimulation. So we instinctively look backward to periods that appear more grounded and harmonious. Even eras we did not live through: Victorian Europe, the Belle Époque, the Russian Empire, the Renaissance, become symbols of stability, elegance, and coherence, not because they were free of problems, but because they represent a slower, more comprehensible world. Aesthetic nostalgia also plays a major role. Many older architectural and artistic styles were built on harmony, symmetry, proportion, craftsmanship, and permanence. Even ordinary objects were made with intentionality and emotional weight. Today, efficiency and mass production dominate. This shift makes us feel disconnected from beauty as a form of meaning. We long not simply for objects or buildings, but for a time when human creativity was expressed through detail, patience, and artistry. What we miss is a worldview, one in which beauty was not optional but essential to life. Our longing for the past is also tied to changes in relationships. Modern digital communication has allowed us to talk more but connect less. Interactions have become fast, fragmented, and often superficial. In previous eras, communication required effort, writing letters, visiting in person, spending uninterrupted time together. Those actions created emotional depth. Today, we rarely experience that level of intentional connection, so we imagine that relationships themselves were stronger in the past. But what we are really missing is not the people of another era. We are missing the quality of emotional presence. There is also an existential dimension to nostalgia. As we age, we become increasingly aware of the passage of time. The mind, seeking continuity and reassurance, clings to moments that feel permanent. Our youth, our beginnings, the people we loved, the dreams we once carried. These memories form a symbolic resistance to mortality. We polish them, revisit them, and idealize them because losing them would feel like losing part of ourselves. Nostalgia becomes a space where time stands still. And this gives us comfort. During times of social instability, pandemics, economic crises, political tension, nostalgia becomes particularly strong. People long for eras that appear more unified, more predictable, or more secure. But this golden age is almost always a psychological construction, a simplified, idealized image created by memory, storytelling, family narratives, and cultural representation. Nevertheless, it has real power. It gives people hope. If the world once felt meaningful, maybe it can again. Nostalgia becomes not just a backward glance, but a form of quiet resilience. The paradox is that although nostalgia distorts the past, it reveals profound truths about the present. When we strip away illusions, what we truly miss usually falls into a few universal categories: belonging, identity, beauty, stability, and deeper emotional connection. These are not historical losses, they are existential needs. Nostalgia intensifies when these needs are not met in our current lives. It acts like a compass, pointing not toward the past, but toward the qualities our present is lacking. And so, should we trust nostalgia? The honest answer is yes and no. No, because it does not give us an accurate picture of history. It is selective, simplified, emotionally filtered. But also yes, because it reveals what our hearts crave: meaning, connection, continuity, and the sense that life has texture and weight. Nostalgia shows us what we value, what we have lost, and what we must recreate. It is not a desire to return to the past, but a desire to bring its best qualities into the present. We romanticize the past, not because it was truly better, but because it represents the moments when we felt most alive, most connected, most secure, and most ourselves. And perhaps the most powerful truth hidden inside nostalgia is this: the qualities we admire in the past are not lost forever. They're waiting for us to build them again. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment to join the journey through history. See you in the next video.